Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my first battle report of Warhammer the Old World, I guess. So what's going on here? I'm going to apologize first off for picture quality. They're not the best angle. I'm going to be working on that. It's my first one, guys. You know, just give me a little bit of a slack here. What my goal is with these is not only to discuss the game, but to discuss my mistakes and what I could have done better and done different to, if I won, maybe win by more, or if I lost, maybe get a draw or get a win. Just point out the mistakes, point out things I could have done different. With this game, it's very obvious. I'll try to make it obvious on the screen as well. I also gonna apologize. Probably gonna do this for a while for unpainted models. I did just start back in August, September, and I'm a pretty slow painter. I have a pretty high standard. I like to think I paint to a decent level of detail, and it just takes me a while. I have like 10 models completed. I have the rest of them assembled and primed at least, and some stuff started, some base coats on some things, some dry brushing for contrast paints, etc. So that's enough of the rambling. Let's get into the battle report, I guess. So I'll just go over the list really quick, starting with my list. I have a prince on a horse with the Starlance, Armor of Calidor, Seed of Rebirth, and a great weapon. So the Starlance you use on the charge, so the great weapon is for after the charge. He's got a shield, so it's kind of a annoying thing to play out in multiple rounds of combat, but it's just to give him some extra punch. I'm pretty sure it's legal. If this is not a legal build, if I have to use a hand weapon instead of a great weapon, just let me know in the comments, I guess. I also have an Archmage with a cool it's a spectral doppelganger build with the meteor hammer that wounds on a 3-up, has AP3. I forgot about the armor bane one, not that it really mattered. AP3 against ogres basically wipes everything out anyway. Lore Familiar to pick it, Seed of Rebirth for the regen, Blood of Calidor simply for the 6-up ward save, just to give me something. I have a mage on foot. My original plan was Sword of Hoeth to give him the killing blow and stuff, but you can't do that. So he had the warbow, the Seaguard Honor, an Anulian Crystal, and the Seed of Rebirth. The Anulian Crystal idea was so that I had him on Elementalism, so if I rolled and I didn't get the spells I wanted, I could just discard them after I cast and get the spells I wanted. Turns out I actually rolled the 2 spells I wanted, so this was kind of 40 or 30 points I could have spent elsewhere, but you never know, luck of the dice. I also have a Battle Standard Bearer on a steed with full plate, great weapon, Seed of Rebirth, Talisman of Protection, Purifier, pretty standard stuff there. Core units, I have 7 Silver Helms with Ring of Fury, full command, 20 Lothrian Seaguard, full command with a War Banner, 7 Dragon Princes. They had a Ring of Fury and Obsidian Lodestone, full command, Banner of Illyrion to move through cover. That never came into effect in this. I should have probably positioned them a little different. I had 10 Sisters of Avalorn with the Bow of the Seafire and an Eagle. I didn't really have a plan for the Eagle. And onto the Ogre list, I forgot to mention this was just 2,000 points with the standard match play guide, the limit on the characters and whatever. So he had a Tyrant on a Stonehorn, Talisman of Protection, Tenderizer, Death Cheater. That was the weapon that does D3 multi-wounds, has packs a big punch and lots of wounds. Had a Bruiser on foot, Battle Standard Bearer, Spangle Shard, Death Cheater, heavy armor, great weapon, and then finally a Slaughtermaster, level 3, Blood Cleaver, Grut Sickle, Death Cheater on Battle Magic. He had 7 Ogre Bulls, full command. He had 7 Iron Guts, great weapons, full command, Lookout Noblard, Daemon Slayer Scars, and the Cannibal Totem. And he had just 2 Saber Tusks to, I'm assuming, fill out his core points. He also, in special, had 2 Iron Blaster cannon. I didn't realize they were cannon chariots, so that'll play out a little bit. So that's his list. Pretty simple compared to mine. Okay, on to the actual game. We rolled off, we got close quarters, which means we have to cut off the 6 inches on the edge of our deployment zone. I don't think either of us remembered, as you can see on the far side of the table, the Dragon Princes and the chariot cannon thing were probably a little too close to the side there. Didn't really matter. Maybe would have changed 1 or 2 things. It was also the strategic points 2 and table quarters. Strategic locations 2 I have opinions on. Let's just say that. We rolled for first turn, and Ogres went first. You can see the deployment here. He has his Ogre Bulls in the middle with the Iron Guts next to them, cannons off to either side, and then the Tyrant kind of by himself on the other side of that forest. I had my Dragon Princes on the far flank, Silver Helms angled to come towards the units, Seaguard just chilling in the forest, Sisters hiding behind the Impassable, and the Eagle gonna fly up the side and do sweet F all. So the Ogres got first turn, and starting with them, they moved up pretty cautiously. Just wanted to stay out of my charge ranges and my line of sights and stuff, and the Ogre Cannon blew itself up, and the other one killed one Silver Helm. He killed one Silver Helm with the Ogre Cannon on the close side. High Elves turn 1, I got Glittering Robe off. I don't think it mattered. I got Earthen Ramparts off on the Seaguard, and I moved my Dragon Princes up kind of beside the Impassable there. I took them out of the marching column. I probably should have left them in to stay out of the Tyrant's line of sight, as you'll see how that develops. The Silver Helms charged the dogs. They ran away. I shouldn't have charged the dogs. I should have just like moved 1 inch away from them and then cast Column of Crystal in front of the Tyrant to just completely block him, so he'd have to, you know, pivot and maneuver through the woods, and it would take him a couple turns to actually get in, because he was the big heavy hitter. The Seaguard and the Sisters of Avalorn, I think they killed 1 Ogre Bull. Probably should have shot at the Iron Guts in hindsight. They were the big threat. And then the Eagle swooped in behind. I completely forgot it was a chariot as well and could charge. I just thought it was like a cannon. And so I was like, oh, I can protect myself from the shot. And you'll see the birdie doesn't do anything. And I actually forgot to take a picture after Ogre's turn 2. So this is the field of play after the High Elves turn 2. So the Ogres in their turn, the Tyrant charged my Dragon Princes and issued a challenge, which I accepted with my unit champion because he had the Ring of Fury. So I figured like maybe you could chunk off a couple wounds before my prince has to deal with the guy. I think he did actually get 1 wound. Obviously got stomped. They lost combat res, gave ground. That continued for a long time. So in the Ogre turn, the Bulls moved forward. So then in my turn, I charged them with the Silver Helms and killed a lot of them. There's only 2 left. The Iron Guts moved forward. In the Ogre turn, the cannon charged my Eagle, which had to flee through the Iron Guts, took a Peril's wound, and then ended up there. The dogs moved forward, not only to cause more Peril's checks, but to engage the Sisters of Avalorn in the future subsequent turn. The Spectral Doppelganger build I did with the Archmage was really, like, it thwomped those Ogre Bulls. It was really funny. So here I forgot to move the turn dice, but it's definitely after Ogre's turn 3 because there's another Ogre Bull gone. We have moved forward because they gave ground. The Chariot Cannon declared a charge on my Eagle again, so he had to flee, took the Perils, took another wound through the dogs. This might actually be after my turn 3 as well, because the Sisters have moved to put some shots into the Iron Guts. The Iron Guts, he just moved forward on the edge of the woods, not in the woods, just to help him with like the line of sight and stuff like that, with like a couple of the archers couldn't see or whatever. The challenge continued on the very far left flank. It just continued forever. He was rolling really poorly, and then I was saving the wounds he was getting through, so he couldn't get the D3 wounds off I think like maybe once or twice until he finally got him in like, turn 4 or something. So once again, I missed a turn of the pictures. Apologies, this is my first one that I'm trying. So the dogs charged into my Sisters of Avalorn. They killed 2, I think, but I killed 1 of them, and then on combat res I outnumbered and stuff, so they broke and fled, and then I failed to restrain, so I had to charge into his dumb chariot cannon thing, and not what I wanted to do. I wanted to shoot at it and chunk some wounds off, so that you'll see how that pans out. My Silver Helms crushed the Ogre Bulls, turned around, charged the Iron Guts in the rear. and made it through the woods and stuff. The Iron Guts finally charged into my Lothran Sea Guard, which the Earthen Ramparts came in handy, stopped the impact hits, but then we realized you can't cast Earthen Ramparts into sustained combat. So if you're relying on like the 5-up ward, Oaken Shield is actually a bit of a better choice here. What I should have done with the Silver Helms is actually rotate them and then charge them into the back of the Tyrant, not into the Iron Guts. The Iron Guts were going to kill those Lothran Sea Guard no matter what, so I should have just kind of let them chunk them down. Maybe they could tie them up until for a turn or two. And if I charged the Silver Helms into the back of the Tyrant's still in the challenge with the Prince, but then I'm going to be adding like 2 for the rear, a banner, and then I also have my BSB in there. So I'm going to be adding 4 combat res, so he has to do like the max overkill to beat me on combat res, and I'm going to be double outnumbering him. So he would probably be breaking and fleeing, and then I could have chased him down and got the points, and then swooped around with both my Dragon Princes and my Silver Helms still alive, and got the Iron Guts. Like I misplayed a couple of turns here, and realistically cost me the game. Live and learn. So as a result of the charge into the rear of the Iron Guts, this is where everything went south. They fell back in good order through my Silver Helms because the Lothran Sea Guard had a higher unit strength. And then my Lothran Sea Guard my Silver Helms re-engaged them into the front, but then the Lothran Sea Guard are left out of combat, kind of just sitting there looking at the chariot. They took some shots at them. The Sisters of Avalorn lost at 5, I think, in that combat, or something like that. They lost a lot in the combat, and they had to fall back in good order, and the chariot was restrained and reformed. The challenge is still going on here. This is turn 4. It might actually be turn 5, because I forgot to move the dice the one turn. So the dog's fleeing. Yeah, things aren't looking good for me right now. I still had hope with the Spectral Doppelganger guy, but I think I only rolled like 4 hits or something, and I didn't do many wounds to the Iron Guts, and they ended up, yeah, you'll see, I guess. Okay, so this is High Elves turn 4. This is the state of the board. The chariot had moved forward in the combat before the Iron Guts crushed to a man the Silver Helms. The challenge finally ended. He killed my Prince. They fell back in good order. He re-engaged. The Dragon Princes are just on hand weapons. That's not looking good. The Iron Guts re-engaged my Lothran Sea Guard. The little chariot thing moved forward to charge into them, just ignoring my sisters completely. The sisters did take some wounds off the chariot, and the dog is still fleeing. So that turn combat is where everything went bad. My big block of Silver Helms just died. My Prince died, and everything it was unrecoverable at this point, because I made the mistake. I just shouldn't have charged those Silver Helms into the Iron Guts. They should have went to the Tyrant. That was my mistake. And Ogres turn 5 now, I believe. The Tyrant killed a bunch of my Dragon Princes. Iron Guts crushed to a man the Sea Guard and turned to face the Sisters. I did take some wounds. I got the chariot down to like 1 wound before the final turn. So this is, it's completely gone now. So then the next turn, the Tyrant killed the Dragon Princes. And then, because the chariot was blocking the Iron Guts, we just had him rotate it and then do the breath weapon, the breath template weapon. And I think there was 1 sister left or something going into turn 6. So then we just packed it up, because obviously, like, nothing's... yeah. It was GG's. So overall, super fun game, super good opponent. I always have fun playing Old World. My opponent was great. His list was pretty good. I underestimated a few things. I misplayed a few things, like that turn 1 charge. Shouldn't have done that. And then after I got the Ogre Bulls, I shouldn't have re-engaged the Iron Guts. And then if the sisters... I rolled a 10, and their leadership 8, and they were out of range of the BSB. So they had to pursue into the stupid chariot, and then like that, it would have died if I had the extra shots to put it in. Whatever. Good game. Learned some lessons. On to the next one. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked it, if you're if you're liking the old world stuff, leave a like, leave a comment. Hopefully this channel transition goes well, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I haven't thought of a new slogan yet. Bye-bye now.